What if I told you footballer's greatest hacker was not Messi, was not Ronaldo, and never won a Ballon d'Or?
Neymar is a beast.
Prime Neymar is better than prime Ronaldinho.
No Premier League player in history is better than a prime Neymar.
The skill.
Because for almost a decade, Neymar found something nobody else did, a way to break football's rules, not the written rules, the unwritten ones. The rules that said flair could not be the efficiency, the entertainers could not dominate, that street football did not belong at the highest level, and for a while, Neymar proved everyone wrong. But then something happened, something that turned football's ultimate cheat code into its biggest what if, the player who hacked football. Before Euro knows his name, Brazil already thought they had seen a ghost. Not because Neymar was scoring, plenty of players score. Not because he was winning, plenty of players win. It was how he did it. Defenders were not getting beaten, they were getting embarrassed. Football has always rewarded simplicity. One touch, two touch, move the ball, score. Neymar is opposite. Extra touches, extra dribbles, extra risks, and somehow it worked. But here's the crazy part. The skills were not the hack. The real hack was something much deeper. When Neymar arrived at Barcelona, critics predicted disaster. Football's biggest showman joining a Messi team. Someone was getting sacrificed. Most people assumed it would be Neymar. Instead, he became even more dangerous because Neymar understood something defenders did not. They prepared for players, not uncertainty, and Neymar was uncertainty. Every touch carried 10 possibilities: shoot, pass, dribble, skill, move, fake shot, dummy. Defenders were not reacting to Neymar, they were reacting to every version of Neymar that might exist, and the hesitation, even a half second, was enough. Which helped create one of footballers' most terrifying attacks. But hiding inside that success was the beginning of a problem that would define his career. In 2017, Neymar did something impossible. He walked away from Messi, away from Barcelona, away from football's safest throne. Everyone thought it was about money, but the real reason was much deeper. For years, Neymar had been living inside someone's story. Whose story? Messi's story, and he wanted his own. Then, football witnessed the biggest transfer in history, a move so expensive it felt like a video game glitch. But becoming the main character comes with a hidden cost, because now every defender had one mission: stop Neymar. And that's when football started fighting back. The more Neymar dribbled, the more defenders kicked. The more he entertained, the more punishment arrived. Ankle injuries, metatarsal injuries, more setbacks, more criticism. Suddenly, the thing that made Neymar special was being used against him. But injuries alone don't explain what happened, because even injured, Neymar were still producing ridiculous numbers, goals, assists, chances created, everything was elite. Yet somehow the world had already started changing the conversation, and that's where Neymar's biggest enemy appeared: expectation. Neymar was not judged against footballers, he was judged against Messi and Ronaldo, which might be the most impossible comparison in sports history. Think about it. Most legends compete against their generation. Neymar competed against two generations at once, and that's why his story became distorted. If another player produced these moments, we had called him a genius, a magician, a once-in-a-lifetime talent. Neymar produced them, and people asked why he was not doing more. That's the strange thing about greatness. Something being extraordinary is not enough. Not when history expects impossible. So, did Neymar reach his full potential? Maybe not, but that question misses the point. Because football has produced thousands of elite players, hundreds of stars, dozens of legends, but only one Neymar, the player who brought street football into stadiums. The player who made defenders panic before he even touched the ball. The player who turned uncertainty into a weapon. And maybe that's why Neymar felt like he hugged the football. Not because he broke the game, but because he played it differently from everyone else. In a sport obsessed with efficiency, Neymar made imagination competitive, and for a while nobody knew how to stop it.